So why would you say that being local is important for a lender?
Yeah, so I like to tell people I want to almost act as your lending arm in your company, right? Being boots on the ground is super important. Knowing local zoning and municipality is super important for us because we understand if they're buying that piece of land, you want to get a full understanding of what you're able to build on that, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to put you in a shitty situation. And then there's just also many other things that come with it, whether it's having connections for people locally with guys like yourself, wholesalers, things like that. It's been super crucial for our business plan and has kind of helped us grow and scale to where we want to be because we have guys local in Dallas, Charlotte, Tampa, things like that. So kind of got our hand in everywhere.
Hey guys, Stephen McManus here with the Coastal Collective Group. This is The Collective. It's a podcast ran by the Coastal Collective Group to help bring visibility to local vendors, partners, business owners, and educate you on the Charleston market. Today I have Vicent Demarco with me with IFund Cities, and we're going to chat a little bit about what he does and how he supports buyers and sellers across really mostly Charleston, but you're working in a couple of different states. So we'll get to know a little bit about Vincent and about what he does. And if you have any interest in, him helping you out, how to reach out to him. So welcome to The Collective.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
Excited.
Let's start off with who you are and tell everybody a little bit about where you were born and raised, what brought you to Charleston.
Yeah. So born and raised in a town right outside of Philadelphia. So was kind of deciding on where I should go to college. My dad did a little real estate. He owns an insurance company, but always wanted to get in the real estate world. So was looking at schools, and my dad was like, Florida's one of the hottest real estate markets. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. It's one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. Why don't we look at a few schools down there? Had the opportunity to look at the University of Tampa and kind of fell in love with the campus. It's right downtown, 15 minutes from the beach. It was awesome. I had a few internships during my time there, and I was working with a few developers there, and our founder at IFund Cities came down and pitched us on a townhome development to fund it. We hit it off, based in Philly, that company is, so
nice.
We learned a little bit about each other. He was like, dude, what do you got planned after school? I was like, not much, just interning here, don't really have a set in stone plan. He said, do you want to move up to South Carolina and run that state for us? It sounded like a great opportunity. Lo and behold, I joined a great company with great leadership and, super excited to obviously learn, but help investors grow and scale their business here locally.
That's awesome. So you went from one predominantly Italian area to another.
Yeah.
And then a quick beeline up to Charleston. That's awesome. So yeah, it sounds like the leadership at IFund Cities trusted you almost immediately. You built a relationship with them and they wanted you to head up South Carolina show.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
What is IFund Cities? What do they do, and what's alternative lending?
Yeah, so IFund Cities is an alternative lender. We lend nationwide. For those of you that don't know what alternative lending is, we kind of sit in between banks and true hard money. Higher leverage, more efficient than your typical bank, but less expensive than true hard money. And we're funding new construction projects, fix and flip projects, DSCR loans, which is 30-year fixed rental loans for investors here locally and all around the country. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to know a little bit more about that, they contact you, you're able to sit down with them and give them the breakdown?
Yeah.
Okay. The cool part about what you do is because Vincent's been over for lunch and learns and has talked to my team several times. I think we rock some IFund City hats every now and then.
You better.
We do.
Yeah.
But the cool part about Vincent and IFund City is that they will sit down with you, educate you. Another valuable part of that is if you ask a bank for money, they're not going to help coach you through a process. I know that you guys aren't going to sit there along the ride the entire time and be like queuing people up for what to do with the money you lend them, but you're able to help provide an overarching, maybe 10,000 foot view framework.
Yeah, so sitting down with the borrower and fully dissecting their business and what they want to do in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years is what I really like to do. Maybe we're not a good fit at the time, but building that relationship is super important to us. And we've come to realize making relationships with realtors and brokers like yourself has not only helped us, but helped them grow and scale their business as a realtor, because having a full, diverse understanding of capital and how you could put that capital to work is super important for realtors.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is.
One, because investing yourself, but also helping investors, right? So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because they're coming to us first most of the time. Say, hey, realtor, what do? We want to invest. We want to get into the real estate market. Well, what exactly do you want to do? And then we filter it down to what they really want to do or what they're comfortable doing, their risk tolerance for investment. And then we start bringing in the team.
Yep.
So if they're looking to do something that IFund Cities can support, we obviously put them in contact with you.
Yep.
So we've established who you are, what IFund Cities is. Now let's talk about a little bit what you offer. What kind of products does IFund Cities offer?
Yeah, so our bread and butter is anything 1 to 4 units, new construction, fix and flips, DSCR rental loans. New construction, we do infill, single-family homes, townhome development, tract development, things like that. As far as the fix and flip, it's your typical buying a single-family house, a duplex, a triplex, fixing it up, either selling it or putting into that 30-year rental loan that we offer as well.
Okay, 30-year rental loan. Can you talk a little bit more about what that is?
Yeah, so it's a DSCR loan, which stands for debt service coverage ratio. And that is essentially, we're going to underwrite the loan based off of that debt service. So it's going to be your rent minus your taxes, insurance, and your mortgage. And as long as that property's cash flowing, you're good to go.
Got it.
Yeah.
So let's just say someone comes to me and tells me they want to do something like this or looking to invest in real estate and get creative, not just to live in, but to actually invest in long term. What makes the perfect borrower? What kind of criteria are you looking at for investors?
Yeah, great question. So there's probably 3 main things we'll look at. It's going to be your credit score. We want to make sure that you pay your bills on time. We're going to look at experience. We want to make sure you've done projects like this or have some sort of investing experience. And then we're also going to look at liquidity. We want to make sure that you have the funds to, one, close on the property and then also get it started. So we'll look at 10% of the construction budget, 6 months interest, and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the 3 main things that we'll take a look at before getting someone final terms on the deal.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They hit you up. They contact you. How long does that take for you to give them a conditional clear?
I would say it depends on how organized you are. If you get me everything I need in a timely manner, I can get you numbers in a day or 2.
Let's just say you guys have a phone conversation without verifying anything, without any official approval. Could they have a quick conversation with you and just
get an idea of
if this could actually work? You could contact Vincent and have a 5 to 10 minute conversation and know if this is something you could do or not. Then you'd have to prove it by sending him all the documents and everything, accounts and balances and things like that. So why don't you tell me about a typical deal? How would you structure a typical deal like that?
Yeah, so let's say it's a infill new construction. You're going to buy the lot. Typically, we'll have our investors buy the lot cash or bring in private money and then come to us when they have permits and are ready to go vertical. So we'll look at the purchase price plus that construction budget, and we'll take a certain percentage of that and fund 100% of construction. Most of the times you're either getting cash back at closing for the dirt or covering all closing costs.
Nice. Awesome. So it seems pretty simple.
It is. So from there, we'll close on the loan, and as you're getting going in construction, we'll take draws. And then from there, as we close on the loan, you'll go ahead and start the work, and then there's something called a draw process, right? So as work's complete, you'll take pictures of the work, send it to our draws coordinator. His name's Cody. You will get reimbursed with that, in typically 24 to 48 hours. So
amazing.
Yeah.
So you send a picture to Cody. He gives you the funds that you spent on that phase within 24 to 48 hours. How often do you see that happening? Or how often typically does that happen? How many draws are there per deal?
Yeah, I would say it depends on the borrower and cash flow at the time, but typically I would say 5 to 7. So you have foundation, and then you'll take pictures of framing, rough and electric, things like that.
Okay, yeah. Finishing.
Yep.
And the borrower, because you're analyzing their liquidity and their financials beforehand, they have the capital up front to put down on these improvements. Right?
Yeah, get the project off the ground.
Cover the phase, and then you reimburse.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So for big banks, if you're an investor and you want to start this process and you're considering a big bank somewhere in the clouds or a hard money lender who's probably going to rip you off, but for IFund Cities, you're here. You guys are physically in Charleston, in South Carolina. So why would you say that being local is important for a lender?
Yeah, so I like to tell people I want to almost act as your lending arm in your company, right? Being boots on the ground is super important. Knowing, local zoning and municipality is super important for us because we understand if they're buying that piece of land, you want to get a full understanding of what you're able to build on that, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to put you in a shitty situation. And then there's just also many other things that come with it, whether it's having connections for people locally with guys like yourself, wholesalers, things like that. It's been super crucial for our business plan and has kind of helped us grow and scale to where we want to be because we have guys local in Dallas, Charlotte, Tampa, things like that. So kind of got our hand in everywhere.
Yeah, I would say from a high level perspective, there are intricacies in the lending process that a local lender would only know for specifically Charleston.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're not going to sit here and list them out, but I've worked with local lenders. I've worked with lenders, you know, big banks. There's a big difference depending on what the project is. Now, if you're just going for a home loan because you're buying a new single family, you know, primary residence, I get it. You just want the money and you want the lowest rate. But if you're being strategic with an investment opportunity, you want somebody local. If you have any questions about that, I'm sure Vincent would be happy to sit down with you and talk you through the pros and cons.
Yeah. For example, I'd say a good situation is I've had a guy that, you know, will go out of the country for a few months, right? And he needs to take pictures, and I'm 10 minutes from the project, so I go take pictures, like things like that. People don't even think of, you don't see that on a term sheet, right? So it's like the little things that you don't see on term sheets that we try to provide.
Right.
Yeah.
That red carpet type service. That's the only people I mess around with. So what do you see in the future of lending? What's the market looking like? Are investors shifting their habits? What can you tell me about the future of creative alternative lending in Charleston?
Yeah, I think you've seen it yourself with rates and people unsure what's going to happen in the next few years, right? It's a little scary. So I've been seeing your typical mom and pop that we're doing 4 to 5 flips a year, slow it down. Also seeing a good amount of guys building new construction or flipping houses decide to put it in that 30-year loan and hold on to it longer and see what happens, especially with stuff sitting on the market longer now.
So you're seeing more fix and holds. Interesting.
Yep.
So the rental market's changing as well.
I would say so.
See, again, you're not going to get information like that from Loan Depot.
Down in California, don't know what's going on here in Charleston.
They have no clue. So you might switch gears. You might change your strategy based upon what a professional in the lending industry in Charleston for specifically investment properties is seeing. And
we'll underwrite it both ways, right? We want to make sure you have multiple exit strategies. So every time we're doing a fix and flip or new construction loan on the front end, we want to order a 1007 to make sure it's going to work on the back end. So 1007 is a rent analysis. We want to make sure that if it doesn't sell, it's going to work as a rental on the back end. So little things like that.
Your rent analysis has been pretty accurate.
I work with a guy locally here, an appraiser that I typically send all my stuff to now. He's super quick, knows the market very well. Little things like that, being local helps as well, right? So I had a situation where this guy came to me. It was a Monday. He was like, hey, I have to close on this fix and flip on Friday. And appraisal is typically what takes the longest in the lending space to get done. I called my guy up. He was out there that day, got an appraisal back Tuesday. We were able to close Friday, no problem. So things like that, it takes your business to the next level.
Because we all know, we've all done investments.
Yeah.
Speed.
It's key.
Speed is key.
Missing out on deals is not fun.
It's all about who can get there the quickest.
Yeah.
It really is.
Exactly.
Well, that's awesome, man. This is really good stuff. I appreciate you coming by. What are some tips, tricks, tidbits of info, anything that you have that you could pass to my audience about this subject?
Yeah, I would say if you're interested or you come across a deal, shoot it over to me. Be happy to run some numbers and walk you through the process. It might not be a good fit for us, but I could help you get the first one done, and then we'll go from there. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Always nice to have eyes on the deal.
It is, yeah. The more eyes on the deal, the better. I see a lot of people who are just looking for your traditional home, but also investors. They start talking to people, and it starts changing a little bit, and they end up over here, which is better for them. But the more people you talk to, the better your outcome is going to be. You could probably tell by people I have on the collective that we look to educate and provide value up front. And Vincent's definitely one of those guys. So where can people find you?
Find me on Instagram at vinny.ifundcities. Throw my information in the caption.
Description?
Yeah. And I'd always be happy to grab coffee or jump on a phone call with anyone that has any questions. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Dude, Vincent, thank you, brother. Appreciate you coming in, man.
Yep. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.